Yes, yeah.
What's the benefit of grass-fed beef over regular beef? I know there is a benefit, but I never can recall it correctly. It's something to do with the
it's mostly
essential
fatty acid ratios. Yeah, because grain you're gonna have more of the omega-6 fatty acids, which have been unfairly vilified. Meaning that a lot of people are just like, don't eat any omega-6s, don't have any arachidonic acid, like don't overdo your seeds, your nuts, your nut butter. Kind of like the orthorexic health world as a whole. You know, like when you read nutrition magazines and stuff, they're like, do your omega-3s, but be careful. Americans have a 20-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, but the problem is that omega-6s, that's a lot of those are derived from what are called parent essential oils, and your cell membranes need a certain amount of omega-6 fatty acids from seeds and nuts and plants, and even to a certain extent grains. And when you have an excess of omega-3s and not enough omega-6s because you're going so far into the fish oil category, then it actually damages a component of your mitochondrial membrane called cardiolipin. You actually make less of that.
Really?
And so you interfere with normal cellular activity.
What seeds are most beneficial? Flax?
I would imagine the most nutrient-dense ones.
Right.
So
do you have a specific ones?
Almonds, macadamia. I mean, what I eat is like almonds, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts. I just don't eat the quasi-nuts like peanuts, which are, you know, they're not as high in nutrient density. They're more of a legume than a nut. I eat a lot of my nuts either raw or lightly roasted. You always look at the label to make sure they didn't put a lot of vegetable oil and canola oil in them. But you know, I'm a fan of nuts in moderate. I eat my nuts like you'd eat your nuts if you were gonna have to shell them, right? Like if you've ever had to shell a walnut, you're not gonna eat 30 walnuts because that'd be exhausting, right? You might have a handful, like like eat your pistachios in a shell. It's annoying as hell, but keeps you from eating too many of them.
I buy them shelled and I eat fistfuls of them.
Yeah.
Like last night I ate like a half a bag.
Yeah. Pistachios are great for your microbiome too.
Yeah.
They actually had a couple of research studies on that last year that showed an improvement in the diversity of the bacteria in your gut with pistachios. So that's one of the nuts that's good for your body, probably because of the fiber content in pistachios. But grass-fed versus grain-fed is primarily the omega-3 fatty acids. I mean, you have less of the arachidonic acid, less of the potentially inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. There's probably part of it being that grass-fed, grass-finished beef is generally raised on a farm that's using less herbicides, less pesticides, raising their meat in a more sustainable fashion, you know, giving it less hormones, giving it less antibiotics. That's painting with a broad brush. But generally grass-fed, there's more to it than just the fatty acid composition. It's just a better meat overall. Better health-wise. Grain-fed beef, I will not lie, like you can have a pretty damn tasty fatty cut of grain-fed beef. Like
you certainly can, but I honestly prefer the taste of grass-fed. I like the denser meat, the darker meat. I like it better. Just to me, it just tastes healthier. I crave it more, you know. And when I go back and forth between the two of them, when I eat grain-fed, it feels like a lazy cow, like it's mushy. It's got it's good, it's delicious, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference. It's
kind of funny because I've gone over to Dubai a few times and taught like fitness conferences over there, and they advertise grain-fed. Like they want everybody to, like when you go to the restaurants, like this beef is the finest grain-fed beef. You know, we
if you go to like Peter Luger's, which is
a lot of grain,
pretty widely recognized as the greatest steakhouse in the world, that place is all grain-fed. That place is a trip.
I didn't like my steak at Peter Luger's.
How fucking dare you?
I
Who
know.
are you?
I'm gonna get killed.
Why did you not like it?
Some rude Brooklyn waiter is gonna take me out. But
how could you not have liked it?
I didn't like it.
What?
I didn't
like
it. Just something about like the meat just tasted. It tasted like it was drenched in vegetable oil. Like something about it just didn't taste right. And maybe I had a poor Peter Luger's experience.
That doesn't even make sense.
I did not enjoy it that much.
Dude, I ate there and afterwards I'm like, I don't think it gets better. I don't think.